Do you feel like you don't speak enough English? That you need to know more words? Then stick around. With these lessons, you'll pick up some of the most common words in just a few minutes. Now, this video is a small portion of our learning program. To get the full lessons, translations, and Fluency Fast study tools, click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia and welcome back to Top Words. Today's topic is 10 lines you need for introducing yourself. So let's go. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Hello, it's nice to meet you. You can only use this the first time that you meet someone. If you say this to somebody after you have met them already, you're going to seem either A, like you've completely forgotten meeting them, or B, like you are a very strange person for saying it's nice to meet you again. So when you use this the first time, you can shake hands with someone and say, hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is. The next phrase is, my name is blah, blah, blah. In my case, my name is Alicia. You can use this again when you're introducing yourself, or if you need to reintroduce yourself, you can use this pattern. When you meet somebody at a party, for example, you can say, my name is blah, blah, blah. My name is Barbara. My name is Stevens. You can shorten this. You can say, my name's blah, blah, blah. I'm from. After you've said your name, after you've shaken hands, you can say, I'm from the US, I'm from Japan, I'm from Turkey, I'm from your mom's house, I'm from I'm from a cave in Southern Europe, I'm from your country, or I'm from your city. I'm from the future. Wow. Wow. I have to go. I live in blah, blah, blah. You can use your city. You can use your country, you can use, even maybe if you live near a certain station, you can use the name of the station where you live. So for example, I live in America is fine. I live in Los Angeles is fine. I live in New York is fine. So your neighborhood is fine. If someone says, where do you live? And you say, I live in an apartment. It's like, what? So please use the region or the location where you live, not the type of place where you live. If you hear the question, what do you do? It's asking about your job. In English, people don't say, what is your job? That's not the question that we ask. Instead, the question is, what do you do? And the correct response to that is, I'm a, or I'm an, blah, 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 followed by your job title. So if someone says, what do you do? You can say, I'm a teacher. What do you do? I'm an engineer. What do you do? I'm a donut shop tester. I'm years old. When someone asks, how old are you? You can say, I'm blah, 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 years old. Don't forget the S at the end of this. If you like, you can shorten this phrase to just I'm plus your age. So I'm 65. I'm 13. Whatever. I'm this many. Sometimes children will say that. How old are you? They'll say, I'm this many. Kind of cute. First time you meet someone, you might not ask, how old are you? If it's in a friendly case, like in a party after you've spoken to the person a little bit, it's okay, but just try to be sensitive to the context. Try to be sensitive to the people around you. And if you sense that maybe there's a very large age gap between you, it might be better just not to ask the question at all. I enjoy. Many of my students say, what is your hobby? But that's not something that native speakers will say. No native speakers say, what is your hobby? Instead, we ask, what do you like to do? Or what do you do in your free time? This is a much more natural question than what's your hobby? The answer to this then is I enjoy, or I like, plus a noun phrase. So for example, what do you like to do? I like listening to music, or I enjoy listening to music. What do you do in your free time? I like watching movies. What do you do in your free time? I like baking cakes. What do you do in your free time? I enjoy tap dancing. What do you do in your free time? I enjoy making new friends. Aww. One of my hobbies is blah, blah, blah. With this one, it's probably better to use a short, easy to understand hobby. If you're explaining a hobby, people are going to expect that it's going to be something that they know about, like photography or cooking or dancing or swimming or whatever. So try to pick something that will allow you to continue the conversation. That's why movies or cooking or books or, sports are a good thing to share. One of my hobbies is snowboarding. I've been learning English for If you are learning English, if you're studying English, you can use this expression. If someone asks you, how long have you been studying English? You can say, I've been studying English for amount of time. Or I've been learning English, or I've been practicing English, or I've been speaking English for a certain amount of time. I've been studying English since elementary school is also okay to use. I've been studying English since I was in college. Just be careful. For is used for a length of time, and since is used for a specific point in time at which you started something. So you can try and mix it up and use a few different expressions there. So I've been learning English for a long time. I'm still learning English. You should do that too. Okay, I'm learning English at EnglishClass101.com. This probably could be used in response to where did you learn English, or where are you studying English, or how are you studying English? You can respond with, I'm learning English at EnglishClass101.com, or I'm learning English at my school. I'm learning English at my private teacher's house, for example. So a little bit of grammar in this sentence. Why do we use the progressive tense, I'm learning English? If you say, I'm learning, it sounds like you're still continuing your studies. If you say, I learned English at EnglishClass101.com, it sounds like you're finished. Like you're finished studying, there's nothing else for you to study, so you're done. So it's much, much more natural to actually use the progressive I'm learning or I'm studying when you're talking about your studies, when you're talking about your hobbies, than it is to say I learned or I studied. So those were 10 lines that you need to introduce yourself and to help give the other person a little bit of information and carry the conversation forward. So please try them, please go crazy with them, make them your own. Thanks very much for joining us for this episode of Top Words, and we'll see you again soon. Bye! I'm from your neighbor's doghouse. Fish. Glub, glub. Oh yes, I like to go spelunking in North Africa every summer.
Imagine you and your family want to go someplace, but you need to take a bus to get there. Do you know how to buy tickets in English? Hi, Alicia here. Buying tickets in English is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo's family has just arrived in America, and Gustavo and George have met them at the airport. Let's watch.
5 tickets to Times Square, please.
Okay, will that be 5 adults?
How young do you have to be to get discounted tickets?
Children under 10 years old are eligible for child tickets. Children 10 years or older need adult tickets.
Got it. Sophia, you're 8 years old, right?
Right.
And Lucas is over 10, so 4 adults and 1 child.
Okay, 4 adults and 1 child to Times Square. Your total is $73.95.
George, I'll pay.
Don't worry about it. I got it. Everybody, welcome to the United States.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to buy tickets. Ready?
Do you remember what George said to purchase tickets to Times Square?
5 tickets to Times Square, please.
First is the phrase.
5 tickets.
Next is a phrase that includes a place.
To Times Square.
Last is the word.
Please.
Together, it's
5 tickets to Times Square, please.
the structure is
Number.
plus,
Tickets to.
plus.
Please.
Now you try. Imagine you want 2 tickets to Atlantic City. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
Two tickets to Atlantic City, please.
Now imagine you want 4 tickets to Grand Central Station. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
Four tickets to Grand Central Station, please.
Do you remember how George told how many adults and children would need tickets?
4 adults and 1 child.
First is the phrase.
4 adults.
Next is the word.
And
And last is the phrase.
1 child.
Together, it's.
4 adults and 1 child.
Keep in mind that the age range for children's tickets varies widely, so you might have to ask the ticket clerk to be sure. Now you try. Imagine you are buying tickets for yourself, 2 adult friends, and an infant. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
Three adults and 1 child.
Now imagine you are chaperoning a group of 6 elementary school students on a trip to the zoo. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
One adult and 6 children.
Do you remember how George told Gustavo that he was going to pay for the tickets?
I got it.
This is a phrase that is used to tell someone else that you will pay the total bill, including their portion. Now you try. You are on a date, and you want to pay for the meal. What do you say when the check comes?
I got it.
Now imagine you are sharing a cab with a friend, and you want to offer to pay for the ride. What would you say?
I got it.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time. Welcome to EnglishClass101.com's English in 3 minutes, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn English. Hi, how's it going? I'm Alicia. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn some easy ways to ask and answer common questions in English. It's really useful, and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn new, more common ways to ask and answer the question, "How are you?" in English. You've probably learned, "How are you?" and "I'm fine" in textbooks before, but in the United States, people will usually ask this question and answer it in a different way. First, let's review. If someone says, "How are you?" you can say, "I'm fine." I'm fine. Here are some other ways to answer. Pretty good. This means about the same thing as I'm fine. Pretty good. We also have not bad. You can use this if you are feeling just okay or so-so. Not bad. Let's look at our question again. How are you? This is the most well-known way of asking how someone is. You could use it when you want to be polite. But now, let's look at some different ways to ask how someone is. These ways are more casual and much more common. First, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? You can answer this in many ways. If you're feeling good, you can say, good. Good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. Once more, good, pretty good, not bad. Here's a tip. Even though these answers mean the same thing as I'm fine, you can't answer how's it going with I'm fine. It will sound a bit strange. If you're not feeling good, you can say not so good. Not so good. Not great. Not great. Or not so well. Not so well. Be careful. If you say one of these, the other person will usually ask, "Why? What's wrong?" to be polite. Then you will have to explain. Another casual but very common version of "How are you?" is "What's up?" What's up? To reply, use a cheerful voice as you say, "Not much," "Not much," or "Nothing much," "Nothing much." This means you're free and able to chat. Since "What's up?" is just another way of saying hello, you can also reply with "Hey" or "Hi." Now it's time for Alicia's advice. A lot of the time, when we ask questions that mean, "How are you?" in English, we're not actually asking about the other person's health. We're only asking to be polite. You should think of these questions as another way of saying hello, a way for the conversation to get started, instead of actual, literal questions. In fact, when someone asks you, "What's up?" you don't even have to answer. Just say, "What's up?" in reply. Do you know the difference between "What do you do?" and "What are you doing?" It's a little tricky, but we'll explain it simply in the next English in 3 minutes lesson. See you next time.
Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, "How's your mother?" After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about well-being and ask how someone is doing. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Conversation About Family Well-Being PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue. How's your mother? She's fine. Listen to it again. How's your mother? She's fine. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, "How's your mother?" How's your mother? Listen to it again. How's your mother? How's your mother? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is she's state of well-being. She's state of well-being. For example, she's fine. She's fine. She's fine. Here are a few expressions related to well-being that you can use with this pattern. Great. 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 Fine. 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 So-so. 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 Not good. Not good. Not good. Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers. How's your mother? She's great. How's your mother? She's so-so. How's your mother? She's not good. Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, "How's your mother?" How's your mother? Imagine she's great. Do you remember how to say, "Great"? Great. Great. Say, "She's great." She's great. Now, answer the question saying she's great. How's your mother? She's great. Now imagine she's so-so. Do you remember how to say so-so? So-so. So-so. Say, she's so-so. She's so-so. Now, answer the question saying she's so-so. How's your mother? She's so-so. Now imagine she's not good. Do you remember how to say not good? Not good. Not good. Say, she's not good. She's not good. Now, answer the question saying she's not good. How's your mother? She's not good.
In this lesson, you learn new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to talk about well-being. You're now able to talk about how someone is feeling like a native speaker. Start by practicing in the comments below. Tell me how you are today. Lastly, don't forget to click the link in the description and download your PDF cheat sheets. You'll get useful phrases you need for everyday life for free. See you in the next lesson. Bye!
Imagine you're going to meet your friend at his office, but before you can talk to him, you need to talk to the receptionist. How would you do it? Hi, Alicia here. Checking in with a receptionist in English is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo has come to meet his old friend George at his office. Let's watch.
Good morning. Welcome to Alta.
Good morning. I have a 1 p.m. appointment with Mr. Thomas.
Your name, please?
Silva.
Just a moment, Mr. Silva. I'm very sorry, but Mr. Thomas's meeting is running a little late.
Oh,
He should be out in a few minutes, though.
okay, no problem.
Then please have a seat over there. I'll call you when Mr. Thomas is ready to see you.
Sure.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to explain the details of an appointment. Ready?
Do you remember the phrase Gustavo and the receptionist used to greet each other at the beginning of the scene?
Good morning.
First is the word,
Good.
next is the word.
Morning.
Together, it's.
Good morning.
You can adapt this structure to use it in several situations. First say,
Good.
then say the time of day. This can be morning, afternoon, or evening. Now you try. Imagine you're greeting the person taking your breakfast order at a coffee shop.
Good morning.
Now imagine you're greeting business partners at an afternoon meeting.
Good afternoon.
Do you remember the sentence Gustavo used to tell the receptionist about his appointment?
I have a 1 p.m. appointment with Mr. Thomas.
First is the phrase,
I have a
next is the time.
1 p.m.
After this is the word,
appointment
next is the word,
with
and finally, you add the name of the person you are meeting with.
Mr. Thomas.
Together, it's.
I have a 1 p.m. appointment with Mr. Thomas.
You can use this structure to explain the details anytime you have an appointment. The structure is I have a
Time.
appointment with.
Person.
Now you try. Imagine you have an appointment to see Dr. Smith at 2 p.m. What would you say to check in?
I have a 2 p.m. appointment with Dr. Smith.
Now, imagine you have a 9 a.m. meeting with the director of marketing. What would you say to the receptionist when you arrive?
I have a 9 a.m. meeting with the director of marketing.
Do you remember what Gustavo said after the receptionist told him that Mr. Thomas was running a little late?
Okay, no problem.
First is the word,
Okay,
next is the phrase.
no problem.
Together, it's.
Okay, no problem.
This expresses agreement and understanding. Now you try. Imagine you ordered chocolate ice cream, but the waiter says they only have vanilla. How would you express that you are okay with vanilla ice cream?
Okay, no problem.
Imagine you're trying to schedule a doctor's appointment, and after you request a 9 o'clock appointment, the receptionist offers you a 10 a.m. appointment instead. If you want to accept his offer, what would you say?
Okay, no problem.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! Imagine you've met an old friend whom you are seeing for the first time in a long time. What do you say? Hi, Alicia here. Catching up with old friends in English is easy. In this lesson, you're going to learn how. Gustavo has come to New York to work with George, and they have a lot to catch up on. Let's watch.
Mr. Silva, sorry to keep you waiting. Mr. Thomas is here.
George,
Gustavo, it's been too long.
I know. It's good to see you again. Here's a little something from Sao Paulo.
You shouldn't have. Thanks. And you're looking well. How have you been doing?
I'm good. The hotel is pretty nice and it's great to be in the States.
That's great to hear.
And you? You're looking well too.
Been busy, but doing well. Let's catch up at lunch.
Okay.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to greet an old friend in English. Ready?
Do you remember what George said to greet Gustavo right after he arrives?
It's been too long.
First is a contraction for it and has.
It's
Next is the word,
been
and last is the phrase.
too long.
Together, it's.
It's been too long.
You can use this phrase whenever you're greeting an old friend or acquaintance you haven't seen for a long time. Now you try. Imagine you are greeting a member of your family after living in another country for 6 months. What would you say?
It's been too long.
Do you remember what Gustavo says after he agrees with George that it's been too long?
It's good to see you again.
First is a contraction for it and is.
It's
Next is the word.
good
After this is the phrase.
to see you
And last is the word.
again.
Together, it's.
It's good to see you again.
You can use this phrase anytime you are meeting someone that you haven't seen in a while. Now you try. Imagine you're picking up a friend from the airport who is visiting you. How could you greet them?
It's good to see you again.
Now imagine you're having a second business meeting with a client at work. What would you say to greet them?
It's good to see you again.
Do you remember what question George used to ask Gustavo how he has been?
How have you been doing?
First is the word,
How
next is the phrase,
have you
and last is the phrase.
been doing?
Together, it's.
How have you been doing?
This phrase is used to ask how someone has been since you last saw each other. It's similar to the phrase,
How are you doing?
but is asking about someone's past condition rather than his or her present condition. Now you try. Imagine you run into an old friend at a cafe. What question could you ask them?
How have you been doing?
Now imagine you are talking to your little brother on the phone. How could you ask him how he's been since the last time you spoke?
How have you been doing?
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! Imagine you're being quizzed on your future plans. How do you respond? Hi, Alicia here. Discussing future plans in English is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo and George are catching up at a restaurant. Let's watch.
So, Gustavo, when will your family be here?
Louisa's going to bring the kids on Friday.
And what are they going to do when they get here?
Louisa's going to keep writing. She also plans on starting a blog about American culture.
Sounds interesting. How about the kids?
Sophia's going to go to an international school. Half of the classes will be in Portuguese and the other half in English.
She's young, so she'll learn English easily.
Yeah, but Lucas is going to go to a regular high school.
Could be tough for him. Will he be okay?
We think so. He's been studying English a lot at home, but it will be pretty difficult at the beginning, I think.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to discuss future plans. Ready?
Do you remember how George asks Gustavo what his family members will do when they arrive to the US?
And what are they going to do when they get here?
First is the phrase,
What are
next is the word,
they
after this is the phrase,
going to do
and last is the phrase.
when they get here?
Together, it's.
What are they going to do when they get here?
This sentence is useful when you want to ask about what someone is going to do after they come to a place. For more than one person, the structure is, what are they going to do when they get here?
The structure when asking about one person is, what is he or she going to do when he or she gets here?
Now you try. Imagine your friend's brother is moving to your town. How do you ask about his plans after that?
What is he going to do when he gets here?
Now imagine that you want to ask a friend what her sisters are going to do when she says they're coming over to her house.
What are they going to do when they get here?
Do you remember how Gustavo explained Louisa's future plans?
Louisa's going to keep writing.
First is a contraction of Louisa and is.
Louisa's
Next is the phrase.
going to.
After this is the word,
Keep.
and last is the word.
Writing.
Together, it's.
Louisa's going to keep writing.
In other words, Louisa currently spends her time writing and will continue to do so in the future.
The sentence structure is a person plus is going to keep plus a word ending in ing.
Now you try. Your friend, Dan, has reached the age of retirement, but he is going to continue to work. How would you respond to someone if they asked about Dan's future plans?
Dan's going to keep working.
Now imagine you are talking to your mother about your brother. You tell her that your brother was rejected from another job he applied for. How would you tell her that he will continue applying?
He's going to keep applying.
Do you remember what else Gustavo said about Louisa's future plans?
She also plans on starting a blog about American culture.
First is the word,
She
next is the word,
also
after this is the phrase,
plans on
and last is the phrase.
starting a blog.
Together, it's.
She also plans on starting a blog.
You can adapt this sentence when you want to elaborate on a person's future plans. The structure is
A person
plus,
also plans on
plus.
a word ending in ing plus additional information.
Now you try. Imagine you want to tell someone that your friend Dan is also going to learn Chinese.
Dan also plans on learning Chinese.
Now imagine that your brother is also going to work part-time while he continues to apply to jobs. How would you explain this to your mother?
He also plans on working part-time.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! Imagine you're at a supermarket. You've gathered all your items, but now it's time to check out. How do you do it? Hi, Alicia here. Buying items at a supermarket in America is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo is buying a few supplies after checking in at the hotel. Let's watch.
Good evening.
Evening. Excuse me, but what's this?
It's a corn dog.
Nice. How much is it?
It's $1.37. It's on sale.
Okay, I'll take 2.
That'll be $18.74. Okay, your change is 6 cents.
Thanks, man.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to buy items at a store. Ready?
Do you remember how Gustavo asked what something was when he saw it in a case next to the register?
What's this?
First is a contraction for what is.
What's
Next is the word.
this?
Together, it's.
What's this?
You can use this phrase in almost any situation to ask about something you aren't familiar with. Now you try. You pick up an item off the shelf at the store. Ask the sales clerk what it is.
What's this?
You point to an item on a menu. Ask the waiter what it is.
What's this?
Do you remember how Gustavo asked about the price of the corn dog?
How much is it?
First is the phrase.
How much?
Next is a form of the verb to be.
Is.
Last is the word.
It.
Together, it's.
How much is it?
Use this pattern to ask about the price of any item. First say,
How much is
then add the item. You can either use
it?
or specify the item. Now you try. A salesman shows you a necklace that you want to buy for your sister. How do you ask the salesman about the price?
How much is it?
Do you remember how Gustavo asked the shop clerk to give him 2 corn dogs?
I'll take 2.
First is the contraction for I will.
I'll
Next is the word,
take
and last is the number.
2.
Together, it's.
I'll take 2.
This is a more casual and common way of saying, I will buy 2. Use this sentence structure to ask for a certain amount of something. First say,
I'll take
then just add the number or amount you want. You try. A man is selling Coca-Cola at a baseball game. What would you say to buy 3 cups?
I'll take 3.
You're ordering ice cream, and the server asks you how many scoops you want. How do you respond if you just want 1 scoop?
I'll take 1.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! Imagine you're on a plane. There's someone next to you. What do you say? Hi, Alicia here. Introducing yourself in English is easy. In this lesson, you're going to learn how with Gustavo and Henry, who meet on a plane. Gustavo's moving to New York. His family is going to join him later in the month. Henry is in the seat when Gustavo gets on the plane. Let's watch.
Excuse me.
Sorry about that.
Hi, how do you do? I'm Gustavo.
Nice to meet you, Gustavo. I'm Henry Edens.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again, please? A bit slowly?
Henry Edens.
Henry Edens.
That's it, but please call me Hank.
Hank, nice to meet you.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to introduce yourself. Ready? Do you remember how Gustavo introduced himself?
Hi, how do you do? I'm Gustavo.
When Gustavo introduced himself, he started with, Hi, and then used a set phrase.
How do you do?
How do you do?
This is a polite expression people often use with an introduction. It sounds like a question, but it has no particular meaning, and there's no expectation the other person will try to answer it.
Next, he says,
I'm Gustavo.
the first part of this sentence is a contraction of 2 words, I and am. The am here functions like an equal sign in math.
I'm.
I'm
The next word in the sentence is a name.
Gustavo.
Together it's.
I'm Gustavo.
The structure of the pattern is
Hi, how do you do? I'm
plus.
your name.
Now you try. Imagine your name is John. Say, Hi, how do you do? I'm John.
Hi, how do you do? I'm John.
Now imagine your name is Aiko. Say, Hi, how do you do? I'm Aiko. Hi, how do you do? I'm Aiko.
Now use your name.
Okay, there are two additional things you need to know. First, there's a shortcut for giving your name.
Just drop the I'm from the final sentence of the self-introduction.
For example, if Gustavo just said,
Hi, how do you do? Gustavo.
Henry would have understood it was his name.
This would be especially clear if Gustavo extended his hand for a handshake while saying this.
In very casual situations, you can even drop the hi and the how do you do. All that is left would be your name.
The second thing you need to know is you can use I'm with just the first name or your first name and the last name together.
I'm Henry Edens.
Edens is Henry's family name.
Using both your first name and your last name is a little more formal.
It also gives you less privacy. For example, if people know both your first and last name, they can find you on the internet more easily.
So it may be more common for strangers to say just their first name than people meeting in a more friendly environment.
Next, you'll learn how to tell people to call you by a nickname, just like Henry did in the scene.
But please call me Hank.
But please, call me Hank.
The first word in the sentence is
But.
This word is not necessary, but it makes the transition to the rest of the sentence smoother.
Henry uses this to introduce a new piece of information.
And this information changes something about what he said before, but makes this clear.
The next word introduces a polite request.
Please.
Please.
Next is a request to use a certain name.
Call.
Call.
After this is the word
Me.
me.
Last is a common nickname for men named Henry.
Hank.
Hank.
Please call me Hank.
The sentence structure is
Please, call me.
plus.
Your nickname.
Now you try. Imagine your nickname is Matt. Say, please call me Matt.
Please, call me Matt.
Now imagine your nickname is Lulu. Say, please call me Lulu.
Please, call me Lulu.
Now use your own nickname. Say, please call me, and then use your nickname.
Finally, when you meet someone for the first time, it's polite to say a set phrase at the end.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Usually, both people will say this or something similar to it.
Now you try.
Nice to meet you.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time. Imagine you're on a plane. Your seatmate wants to know where you're from. What do you say? Hi, Alicia here. There's no need to worry. In this lesson, you'll learn how easy it is to tell somebody where you're from. Gustavo and Anna are having just this kind of conversation as their plane lands in New York City. Let's watch.
Excuse me, but is that the Statue of Liberty?
Yes, that's right.
So, are you from New York?
Yes, I am. And you? Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Really? So, are you from Rio?
No, I'm not. I'm from Sao Paulo.
Oh, Sao Paulo?
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to talk about where you're from. Ready?
Do you remember how Gustavo explained where he was from?
I'm from Sao Paulo.
First is a contraction, meaning I am.
I'm
Next is the word,
from
and last is a place name.
Sao Paulo.
Together it's,
I'm from Sao Paulo.
the structure is,
I'm from
plus the place name. You can use it with cities, countries, or even with regions. Imagine your hometown is Shanghai. What would you say?
I'm from Shanghai.
Now imagine you're from Egypt. What would you say?
I'm from Egypt.
Do you remember how Anna asked Gustavo if he was from Rio de Janeiro?
Are you from Rio?
First is the second person singular form of the verb to be.
Are
Next is the word.
you
After this is the word,
from
and last is a city name.
Rio?
Together, it's,
Are you from Rio?
the structure is,
Are you from?
plus a place name. It's similar to the above expression,
I'm from Sao Paulo.
except that the verb to be, which has been contracted with the word
I,
to make,
I'm.
has been moved to the beginning of the sentence and put in the second person, along with the subject.
Are you from Rio?
Now imagine you meet someone on the plane. Ask him or her if he or she is from Los Angeles.
Are you from Los Angeles?
Now imagine you meet someone with an Australian accent. Ask him or her if he or she is from Australia.
Are you from Australia?
Now, if you have no idea where someone's from, you can ask,
Where are you from?
in this case, the place name has been removed and the sentence starts with,
Where?
it's also said with a different intonation. Together, it's,
Where are you from?
imagine you meet someone new, but have no idea where they're from. Ask them where they're from.
Where are you from?
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! Imagine you've just landed after a long flight to America and you're almost free. But first you need to go through passport control. What will they ask you? How should you respond? Hi, Alicia here. Navigating passport control isn't as hard as you might think. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo has just arrived in New York. He's in line at passport control. Let's watch.
Next. Passport, please.
Hello. Here you are.
How long will you be staying?
For 6 weeks.
And where will you be staying?
At the Four Seasons Hotel.
What's the purpose of your visit?
I'm here on business.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the United States.
Now the lesson focus. Here's what you say to navigate passport control. Ready?
Do you remember the first question the immigration officer asked after Gustavo gave him his passport?
How long will you be staying?
Immigration officers ask this question to find out about the length of a visitor's stay. They want to know if a visitor plans to stay for 2 weeks, for example, or 1 month. First is the phrase,
How long?
next is the word,
Will
after this is the word,
you
and last is the phrase.
be staying
Gustavo responds with a length of time.
for 6 weeks?
First is the word,
For
next is the number,
6
and last is the word.
weeks.
Together, it's.
For 6 weeks.
The sentence structure to answer the question, how long will you be staying, is for plus number of days or weeks. Imagine you're going to stay for 2 weeks. Answer the question.
How long will you be staying? For 2 weeks.
Do you remember the second question the immigration officer asked Gustavo in the scene?
And where will you be staying?
This question is identical to the first question, except instead of saying,
How long?
the immigration officer asked.
Where?
The immigration officer is asking to find out which hotel or address a visitor will be staying at. Again, it's.
Where will you be staying?
In response, Gustavo gives the name of his hotel.
At the Four Seasons Hotel.
First is the word,
At
and after this is the name of the hotel.
the Four Seasons Hotel.
Together, it's.
At the Four Seasons Hotel.
The sentence structure to answer the question
Where will you be staying?
is at plus your hotel name. Imagine you'll be staying at the Plaza Hotel. Answer the question.
Where will you be staying? At the Plaza Hotel.
Do you remember the third question the immigration officer asked in the scene?
What's the purpose of your visit?
The immigration officer asks this to understand why Gustavo is visiting. First is a contraction of what and is.
What's?
Next is the word.
The
After this is the word.
purpose
Next is the word.
of
Following this is the word.
your
And last is the word.
visit.
Together, it's.
What's the purpose of your visit?
In response, Gustavo answers.
I'm here on business.
This starts with the core phrase.
I'm here on
Following this core phrase is the word.
business.
Altogether, it's.
I'm here on business.
This means that Gustavo is in the country to do business and not just to sightsee. Alternatively, he could have said,
I'm here for pleasure.
this is the same pattern as the first response. The only difference is that
On business.
has been taken out and
For pleasure.
is used instead. Again, that's.
I'm here for pleasure.
Now you try. Imagine your trip is for sightseeing. Answer the question.
What's the purpose of your visit? I'm here for pleasure.
Now imagine you are visiting the U.S. on business. Answer the question.
What's the purpose of your visit? I'm here on business.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! You've just met someone new and want to get in touch with them later. How do you do it? Hi, Alicia here. Exchanging contact information in English is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn what you need to make sure you don't miss out on a new friend. Gustavo meets Anna again while leaving the airport, but they're about to go their separate ways. Let's watch.
Hey, it was nice meeting you.
Same here.
By the way, this is my business card. This is my personal email address. And this is my phone number.
Oh, thanks. I have a business card too. Here you are. My email and my cell phone number are here. Email me.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Enjoy your stay.
Bye.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to exchange contact information. Ready?
Do you remember what Gustavo said when he handed Anna his business card?
This is my business card.
When you are giving something to someone, you start by saying the phrase,
This is
then say the item.
my business card.
Together, it's
This is my business card.
the structure is
This is
plus the thing you are giving. You try. Imagine you're giving someone a present. What would you say?
This is a present.
Now imagine you are giving your address to someone. What would you say as you handed it to them?
This is my address.
Do you remember what Anna says after Gustavo gives her his business card?
I have a business card too.
First is the phrase,
I have
next is the phrase,
a business card.
and last is the word.
2.
Together, it's.
I have a business card too.
You can use this structure anytime you have something that someone else also has.
I have
Name the item.
2.
You try. Imagine your friend has a younger brother. What would you say to tell him or her you also have a younger brother?
I have a younger brother too.
Now imagine your friend tells you that he or she has allergies, and you have allergies also. What would you say?
I have allergies too.
Later in the conversation, Anna wanted to draw attention to a particular piece of information on her business card. In this case, her personal email address and phone number. Do you remember what she said?
My email and my cell phone number are here.
First is a phrase for the items she wanted to draw attention to.
My email and cell phone number
Next is the phrase.
are here.
Together, it's.
My email and cell phone number are here.
Notice that the word address was dropped from email address. This is common in conversation. You can use this structure anytime you want to draw attention to the location of something. If there is more than one item, first list the items and then say,
Are here.
if it is just one item you want to draw attention to, first say the item and then say,
Is here.
now you try. Imagine you're looking at a map with your friend and you want to point out the location of the train station. What do you say?
The train station is here.
What if you want to point out where restaurants are on my map? What would you say?
Restaurants are here.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! You've arrived at your hotel and are almost ready to relax after your long trip, but the person at the front desk only speaks English. How do you check in? Hi, Alicia here. Checking in at a hotel in English is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo just arrived at his hotel in New York. Let's watch.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, my name is Gustavo Silva. I have a reservation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Silva. Could you spell your name, please?
Silva.
Thank you. Ah, yes, Mr. Silva. Here's your room key.
Is there a shop in this hotel?
No, but there's a small grocery store in the next building.
And is there any shampoo or conditioner in the room?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, and a wake-up call, please.
Of course. What time?
At 7. But what time's breakfast?
From 6 to 7:30 a.m. in the dining room on the first floor.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to check in at a hotel. Ready?
Do you remember the first thing Gustavo said to the hotel clerk in the scene after he introduces himself?
I have a reservation.
First is the phrase.
I have
Next is the phrase.
a reservation.
Together, it's.
I have a reservation.
Use this expression to indicate that you've reserved a room in advance. You can also use this phrase in other situations where you made a reservation, such as at a restaurant. Now you try. Imagine you have just come to a restaurant where you've made a reservation. What would you say?
I have a reservation.
Now imagine you've booked a rental car online and you're checking in to pick up your car. What would you say?
I have a reservation.
Do you remember how Gustavo asked if the hotel has a shop?
Is there a shop in this hotel?
First is the phrase,
Is there
and next is the phrase.
a shop
Last is the phrase.
in this hotel?
Together, it's.
Is there a shop in this hotel?
This structure allows you to easily ask if something is nearby or in a particular location. Start your question with,
Is there
and then insert something you are looking for. Finally, add a location. Now you try. Imagine you're checking into a hotel and want to know if there's an ATM in the hotel. What would you say?
Is there an ATM in this hotel?
Now imagine you're in a shopping mall and want to find out if there's a coffee shop in the mall. What would you say?
Is there a coffee shop in this mall?
Do you remember how Gustavo asks if there is shampoo or conditioner in the room?
Is there any shampoo or conditioner in the room?
First is the phrase.
Is there any
Next is the phrase.
shampoo or conditioner
And last is the phrase.
in the room?
Together, it's.
Is there any shampoo or conditioner in the room?
This phrase structure is very similar to the one we just learned. except the word
Any.
is used to refer to uncountable nouns, such as shampoo, water, or bread. The structure
Is there any?
followed by the item and location. Now you try. Imagine you're checking into a hotel and you want to know if there is bottled water in the room. What would you say?
Is there any bottled water in the room?
Imagine you're baking cookies and you want to know if there's any milk in the refrigerator. What would you say?
Is there any milk in the refrigerator?
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time! Remember, here's what you can do to learn all of these words by heart. Drill these words with our spaced repetition flashcards, which will help cement these words into your long-term memory. Save them to the word bank, your personal vocabulary collection, where you can print out your own study sheets, or review the words with our looped vocabulary slideshow, and play it until you know all of the words. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to get these lessons and study tools.